Busy day, but we will quickly go over NBA and college basketball for Wednesday, February 7th, now that the day is basically done. So quickly, NBA. Not too many surprises with NBA today, other than the Sacramento Kings somehow not winning. Um, that was a big upset. They're minus 820 and lost. Sixers lost, but they were injured, so we knew that. And Clippers way down here managed to lose somehow. So other than Sacramento oddly blowing it, the other ones won. Toronto definitely won. Miami won. Tough day to make money because it wasn't perfect and the lines were ridiculous, but NBA algorithm an okay day. I would say slightly even above average day because you properly order this. You can see that the Clippers were right around the same as the Raptors, according to the odds makers, very close. And we have the Clippers way down here at the bottom, and they lose. And of course, it's not a bad day. It's just weird Sacramento game. So that's NBA. How about college basketball? We do not hit 90% of our games above 20% margin today. So that's what we're the standard candle, what we're trying to get. It wasn't that good. What we end up getting is we end up getting Yeah, it stops at Bradley. We go 11-4 on those games. And that's not that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So what happened here? Well, it did make me want to bring up a topic about home and away. So in many sports, there's a home field advantage. There's absolutely a home court advantage in college basketball. It is just a fact. Your home teams, they win more. And I will show you an exercise here where you can change a home bump and provide a boost to every home team, a certain percentage amount that you put here, and it will change the results of the day. And we'll talk about that as we browse through home and away. But for the very basic thing, which I've been talking about every day, these games above 20% margin all the way to Bradley. Unfortunately, they go 11-4. What lost? An away team with a bad strength schedule in Appalachian State. Wisconsin, a team that has been streaking poorly and had lost 3 in a row against the team Michigan, and I believe just upset Michigan State as well at home. So Wisconsin was away here. They've been streaking bad. They were streaking so bad, you know what it made me do? It made me realize that I'm going to add a streak number in here. We're going to have streaks starting tomorrow. Because I was like, I wish I was listening to them talk about this game. And I was like, wait a minute, Wisconsin's lost 3 in a row. Is that right? Like, are they really on the snide? And I remember Michigan, I believe, upsetting Michigan State the other day, or at least playing them really well. I can't remember who won. Point is, I didn't realize that going into the game. Wisconsin should not have been minus 240 if they're streaking that bad right now. So we're going to add streaks starting tomorrow, and I'll talk about that next time I do a video about college basketball because I'll have some numbers. I'm going to keep the rest of the history of the rest of the season in this file. I'm going to keep adding to it. It doesn't have the entire season in. It's only got 2 days, but I'm going to add every subsequent day through the rest of the month before we get to March Madness so that we have everything and we can keep track of streaks. So that will be helpful. So going to do that because that made me, had I known that going into this Wisconsin game, I would not have recommended them as much at this line. Next, American. Hey, can two teams put up 87 points only in a game? Yeah, that's what they did. 43-44. Look at how red these numbers are. They absolutely could not score, only because there isn't a score here. Wait till you see how red that 87 looks when we fill in a score for the USC game. Do we have an answer about that USC game? Is that game over yet? Let's see here. Let's ask people. USC versus Cal college basketball score.
Currently, USC is trailing Berkeley 64-62 in the second half.
All right, let's pretend that game's over, even though it isn't. It's got a minute left. I'll leave it up on my phone and I'll glance at it. But we're gonna give it a total and we're gonna refresh because I want to show you how red that 87 became. Nobody scored 87 points. Next closest one was 113 points. It's 26 points away. Why didn't anybody score in this game? I don't know, but it caused American at minus 500 to lose. So Wow. Low scoring game. That was nuts. Okay. I don't know why Bradley lost. They started off getting crushed and they never fully came back and they lost by 3. But they are an away team. So let's click the home button. Home looks a little bit better. Home wins 9 out of the top 10 games. Their lines are all ridiculously awful. And then you start losing some ridiculously awful lines with Louisiana Tech and Longwood, and Lehigh. Everything Louisiana lost. Yeah, everything Louisiana. Louisiana State lost. Louisiana here lost. Louisiana Tech lost. Bad day for Louisiana. Yeah, it was a rough day. But home and away teams matter. You can see our away teams absolutely needed like a 10% bump for sure. So let's give it to them. Let's change everything and add a 10% home bump in there. We go from 29 and 23 to all of a sudden 34 and 18. Better. Home teams get moved up. You get more wins down here because you have teams like Auburn, East Tennessee, Cal in a game that's still going on. So there is something you can do to bump the home teams up and make this thing look a little better. I prefer to look at it with no home bump and then just focus at the top of the list, because you can see the top of the list doesn't really change all that much. But you got to be wary of away teams. So when you have days with a lot of games like this, and 50 some games is a good amount of games, when you have that, you can focus on home teams more, but you are really going to have payout problems. And while this is probably barely profitable going 9-1 on these lines, actually, I don't even know if it is. It's really close. We can see by straight bet wise to see if it's actually profitable. It's right here. Yeah, you make 2% on your money making straight bets on those games. The top 10 games. And if you made it only on games that were above 20%, that's only 8 games. And I believe you're not profitable. Nope, you're down 24, you're down 3%. So it was an extremely tough day line-wise for home teams. And it was an extremely tough day winning games for away teams at the top of the list. So 11-4 is not 90%. So it did not succeed today. And the only thing that I think could be predicted was the streak factor, which we'll add in for Wisconsin. And we can see if that ends up helping us out to find some games that look like they would win otherwise, but they have the team's on a bad streak or the opponent is on a really good streak, is another thing that's going to be good to know. So we'll add that in, and that will be the next thing that we look at going forward. All right. So not a success in college basketball on Wednesday. Just that's the way it is sometimes. So we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Good luck, Mail. Your picks be winning. I hope they won today. It was tough to win with this board today, but I hope you won.